everybody?
Hi.
Good. It's so great to be in this space with everyone who's building communities. So I'll tell you a little bit about Chasing 23. Back in 2013, I was going through a transition point in life. I was a high school dropout. I went to Chicago public high schools. I had acquired a criminal background, an adult criminal background, which barred me from military opportunities and basic social service needs that I may have needed. And I was at a crossroad in my life. I met a guy 6 months prior to my 22nd birthday. His name was Wayne. His nickname was Chase. He was something like a mentor to me. He really encouraged me to expand my vision on life, really encouraged me to use my talents, gifts, influence, whatever that was at the moment for a greater good. I grew up in Chicago. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. So that was an experience within itself. And Wayne really encouraged me not to stay in that moment. And so he really imposed this idea of chasing 23, of chasing your greatness, right? Of like being what Michael Jordan was in basketball, but being that in life, like being that to my son and being that to my wife and being that to my community at large. And so it really resonated with me because I wanted to be more, I wanted to do more, I just didn't know how to go about it. And Wayne's mentorship was very vital to me. And sadly, I lost Wayne to a domestic violence incident on my birthday in 2012. And after going through so many traumatic events, I was really moved to make a life change, to really go back to school. I was in between the criminal justice system, so I had to sit down for a few months. And during this process, I really reflected on my life and where did I go from there. And that was in the summer of 2013, and Chasing 23 at that moment was a life-changing decision for me. Since that time, Chasing 23 has grown into a community-based organization. We're a 501c3 organization, a mentoring organization solely focused on improving the quality of life of young men of color. We have been doing a mentoring program for the past 2 years with Chicago Public High Schools, Wendell Phillips, in the Bronzeville community. It's a school year-long program where we work with 10 to 15 of what the school deems the most at-risk youth, whether that's justice involved, chronically truant, or just struggling academically. And we work with those young men over the course of an entire school year. They have a personal mentor, they have a tutorer, we provide stipends throughout the year. But one of the challenges was in the second year of the program is that students were still facing challenges that were outside of our control. You know, we can only do so much within our 3 to 6 hours on Mondays after school. We have volunteer mentors, and you know they were doing all that they can do. And no shock to us, the young men were being removed from the school because maybe academically they were just too far behind to catch up. Maybe behavioral things, the school and the climate that was at the school wasn't conducive for them. So we would find that we would start with 10 guys and we would get down to 7 guys because guys were leaving and guys were not standing in the space. But we wanted to keep those genuine, authentic relationships. The program, the community that I run my program out of, the high school rather, that's in my community, I live in that community. Right? So I see these kids. So for me, it goes beyond the contractual obligation that I have with Chicago Public Schools, right? If that Wendell Phillips wasn't the school for you, that doesn't mean that your relationship has to stop with me or your relationship has to stop to your mentor. And so we started the Facebook group really as a secondary platform. We have a Generation Z, I believe that's the, right? They're like the Snapchat, Instagram, right? I'm private, I don't want nothing public, delete it in 24 hours type. So, I'm 27, so I came up with the Facebook age. Like, so it was a new thing for me. But we've started this Facebook group, and it's a closed group. And we use that as a platform to really share out events, to really communicate more. And so I mentioned to Brianna that, for her to start off with her subject for a small group really resonated with me as a community leader, because I think it's so important for us to have genuine relationships. The relationship that I had with Wayne was one that was built over a period of time. It was one that I could lean to for advice, and one that would also validate me and my experiences. And so my fear is that our community grows without being able to keep our one-to-one idea. So we really believe in this idea of each one teach one, right? So we have a group of 50 members right now, but of that 50 members, we have 15 who are volunteers, males, and we ask them to actively take the challenge or the opportunity to build with the young men in the group. And so that's our Facebook group, and that's enough for the moment, I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So you